This video is brought to you by Mubi, a streaming service dedicated to elevating great cinema from all around the globe. Get a full month free at mubi.com/Lauren. Hello everybody and welcome to this year's first installment of what I watched this month, although this one will be what I watched the past 2 months because I didn't do January, so I'm gonna just do what I watched in January and February. Everything I watched, shorts, TV series, movies, obviously. It's going to be in the format of my yearly what I watched videos, but some of the reviews might be like a little longer just because, you know, less movies. The scale is out of 5, but I think a 5 is like a 10. Like I kind of double what everything is, so like a 3-star. A lot of people take 3 stars like, wow, she hated that shit, she hated that movie. But 3-star to me is like a 6, which is above 5, which is halfway, so it's above average to me. Like a 2.5 is still a half, it's still a 50% on the test, so you passed in my mind. With that being said, let's just jump right into it. Let's get crazy and just jump right in. January 1st, baby. We started the year off with Almost Famous, first time watching. This was an enthralling ride into the world of rock stardom in the 1970s, albeit fiction, but still enthralling. Billy Crudup in this was insanely hot, perhaps the most hot anyone has ever been. I also love entertainment journalism, especially depicted in movies, and the main protagonist in this, he was on the road following the band in pursuit of his dream, which was entertainment journalism, while he fell in love with the groupie of this band. And it was really epic and fun and awesome and a ride from start to finish. Y tu mama también. Oh my goodness, I can't believe I waited this long to watch this masterpiece of a movie. Imagine watching Challengers and not knowing that it was not the first movie to feature two boys kissing initiated by a powerful woman. Because that's crazy. It made me want to delve so much deeper into the world of Mexican cinema. You guys have given me so many great recommendations and I just need to get back on my bullshit and watch some of them. But with that being said, leave recommendations anymore if you have any in the comments below. Thank you. American Psycho. Just your average day on Wall Street, I would assume. Beyond the Infinite 2 Minutes, a very quirky Japanese movie that was such a unique take on the sci-fi / time travel genre. It was also filmed in one single take. It's 71 minutes. It's just so much fun. Lady Bird. What follows is a quote by my good bitch, Lady Bird Christine McPherson. Hey mom, did you feel emotional the first time that you drove in Sacramento? I did. And I wanted to tell you, but we weren't really talking when it happened. All those Bens I've known my whole life, and stores and the whole thing. But I wanted to tell you, I love you. Thank you. And some of y'all would not understand the deep significance and impact that quote has on film and cinema and motherly-daughterly connection and love. But the ones who get it. Tokyo Story, my second ever Ozu film. His movies are like a meditation that explores such a specific time in a family's life or a protagonist's life. And it takes place in such a foreign time and place to me. And that is the power of cinema, to open your eyes to such new foreign things, I think. Foreign, whether it be in the literal sense, like foreign, like, oh, a foreign land, or foreign as in a topic. Okay. Sweethearts. So cute, so funny. I love when movies don't take themselves too seriously. Just keep it lighthearted sometimes, guys. It's okay. Because the audience, me, will have a good time. Caleb Heron stole the show. He's one of the best comics of our generation. And he's just a great actor for real. It was really funny and nice and good. Shadow Brother Sunday. This was a short that in its 15 minutes balanced dark humor, thriller, and emotion. Great directorial debut. I would love to see a feature of this. I would like to see it. Boyfriends and Girlfriends. Every time I watch an Eric Rohmer film, I'm like, oh my god, this is the best. This is the best thing ever made. Like just out of everything ever made, this is the best thing. And wow, the shots in this were so vibrant and so stunning. I audibly gasped at my screen. Rohmer always has me yearning for a brunette, curly-haired French boy. And you know what? I've said it once and I'll say it again. Bring back movies where people just walk and talk. Oh my god. Oh my god. So good. Just so good. Mwah. Magnifique, as the French say. Je suis Lorraine. J'habite aux États-Unis. In Caroline du Nord. Oui. Je t'aime Eric Romer. J'aime beaucoup les films de Eric Romer. Oui, yes. The Social Network. No, it's actually really crazy because I actually logged this while waiting at the cleaners for my Prada along with my sweatshirt and my fuck you flip-flops. And that is so funny and a coincidence. Aaron Sorkin, maybe best screenwriter ever. Little Miss Sunshine. Hey, this movie, it's like cocaine. It's like coquina. You will turn it off with nothing but a grin on your face, feeling a euphoric high. Just happiness in a movie, but also so much sadness and emotional turmoil in a movie, but it ends on such a high note. To Super Freak, she's a super freak, she's super freaking, and it's great. One of my favorite movies ever. In Another Country, Hong Sang-soo is one of the most stylistic directors living today, in that when you turn on a Hong Sang-soo movie, you know you're watching. You know you're seated for a Hong Sang-soo movie. The fact that he uses pretty much the same cast in every movie aside, stylistic-wise, so unique to him. This was so effortlessly charming that even though nothing really happens ever, you feel something deep in your bones. There's always something that you can grasp onto and relate to, and I also love when he collabs with Isabelle Huppert. They're just like a duo made in heaven. I mean, they're such great collaborators, and this one features Isabelle as the lead. Like everything else she's in, she's brilliant. Ice Age. Some of y'all's boyfriends look like Sid the Sloth. The Graduate. Ooh, I love a messy love triangle. I will never not love a messy love triangle. I also love the depiction on screen of being completely lost in your 20s and being bogged down by society and your family's expectations of where you should be in life and where society says you should be in life when you kind of have no idea where you want to be in life. They also play Simon and Garfunkel in 90% of this movie, which I'm not complaining, like, hello darkness, my old friend. It's a good song. Wallace and Gromit, Vengeance Most Foul. This is my first Wallace and Gromit movie that I've ever watched, and I was never really into the claymation style of animation. I think it's because the first time I watched Chicken Run, I solely remember the chickens on the conveyor belt at the slaughterhouse ready to get slaughtered, and I thought, why am I watching this? This is really, really dark, and I feel really bad for these chickens. So I've never, that kind of steered me away from the whole claymation thing. Except I was a big fan of Shaun the Sheep, Disney Channel show, but I didn't love Wallace and Gromit, Vengeance Most Foul. I really liked it. I really enjoyed it. Wallace, he kind of sucks, and he's kind of so mean to Gromit. Like, Gromit, I'll adopt you and feed you jam and toast. Fargo. Oh, this was spectacular. Oh my goodness, Marge, this was spectacular. I loved every second of it. So tongue-in-cheek funny, simply put. Frances McDormand ate up this whole movie. She ate it up. She ate up this role. She ate up this movie. This movie is hers. It was hers for the taking. Wait, I think she actually won an Oscar for this. I'm gonna fact check that and put it in right here if she did.
The Oscar goes to Frances McDormand in Fargo!
We're fortunate to have the choice, not just the opportunity, but the choice to play such rich, complex female characters.
Well deserved, is all I can say, Marge. Broadcast news. There's this thing called a love triangle, and well, I love them. Like I said, I've always loved the depiction of journalism in movies. I think if I wasn't pursuing a career in more traditional entertainment, I would totally have studied journalism, and I could always change my mind and still do that. Seeing these three news anchors balance their careers and love all while working in the same office, in the same environment and news station, it was just spectacular, I think. Wham was so much more than just a pop duo. They were friends. They were brothers bound by not blood, but love for music and love for each other. George Michael, you will always be famous. I miss you every day. And I hope Hollywood never, never makes a biopic about you. I'll stop it if they do. Don't you worry, George. How to Make Millions Before Grandma Dies. This is a Taiwanese film that had me finishing the last 15 minutes in a fetal position, sobbing. And I should have known that given the title. Extremely heartfelt movie. It follows the rekindling of a relationship between a grandson and his grandmother. And it reminds us that as we move through our lives and we get older, so are our grandparents and so are our parents. And we still should and need to pay attention to them, and because they love us. And it's I'm gonna start crying again just thinking about the movie. Let me not. X-Men Days of Future Past. So you want to be an X-Man? No problem, it's easy. There are 3 simple qualifications you must follow. 1. Have a weird superpower or evolutionary abnormality. 2. Be hot. And 3. Be gay. Just a little bit. Don't worry, conservatives. Logan Lucky. I don't know, like, this worked for me, but it also didn't work for me. It lacked something. I couldn't and still can't put my finger on it, but it did not lack Daniel Craig playing a criminal, embodying a flawless Southern hillbilly accent, along with Adam Driver and Channing Tatum. The Martian. Space is so incredibly epic, I wish it were real. This was kind of like if you said to your mom, can we go watch Interstellar at the movies? And she said, we have Interstellar at home. But Interstellar is a 100 billion% masterpiece, so even being compared to Interstellar is a feat. I really, really like this movie. Having Matt Damon and Jessica Chastain exploring space in the same movie again was kind of epic, because why were they both in Interstellar and also in this one? Okay, maybe they really do work for NASA. Maybe space really is real. I don't know. I really enjoyed watching Matt Damon grow potatoes. It made me crave a baked potato so bad. Potatoes, boil them, mash them, stick them in a stew. I love a potato. I do. Sweet. I love a sweet potato as well. Add a little brown sugar, a little marshmallows on that. I recently discovered that a couple years ago on Thanksgiving. Oh my goodness. It's like a dessert. Crazy Rich Asians. Awkwafina in Crazy Rich Asians be like, what's up, Michelle, yo? What's you talking about? It's true.
You can't swerve. You gonna roll up to that way and you gonna be like, bok bok, bitch.
Reap. This was a short film directed by a local filmmaker / acquaintance of mine. It was so unsettling. Had a lot of David Lynch influence and 2001: A Space Odyssey. If you're into religious tied thrillers and horrors, I think you would very much so enjoy this. It's free on Vimeo. On the beach at night alone, I am once again expressing my admiration for Hong Sang-soo. His dialogue feels so natural, whether it's expressing awkwardness, love, sadness, yearning. Donnie Darko. Hey, so what the fuck? Shout out to the 25 different YouTube channels that helped me somewhat understand this extremely dark and unsettling movie. I mean, what a ride. Jake Gyllenhaal is a name in Hollywood for a reason. He is simply amazing. He's a little too good at playing a borderline serial killer teenager. Thinking back on this movie makes me want to immediately rewatch it right now. Like, whoa, that was cinema. I also hated that damn evil bunny lover. Unlike the last movie, I did not hate this bunny. I actually wanted to cuddle and love this bunny because it was a real bunny. Other than the bunny in this, it was a good directorial debut, I think, by Katarina Zhu, and to also play the main character in your first directorial debut movie is probably no easy feat. I feel like for its short runtime, it wasted a lot of that time on unnecessary, flat and dull scenes that it couldn't afford to waste. Like, they didn't progress the plot, and if we're gonna be here for only like 70 minutes, give me stuff that's gonna progress the plot. Not terrible by any means, and I do hate to admit that because I spent $35 on a screener ticket through Sundance Film Festival. And that will be a tax write-off because I'm talking about it in this video, in which I will make at least $1. So, The Big Short. Okay. This was so ass. Maybe I wasn't the target audience. I feel like the target audience is probably like, you know, finance bro. I feel like I need to be compensated for the 131 minutes that I spent watching this movie. And this, I feel like I should compensate everybody, cast and crew involved in this beautiful, perfect film, especially Coleman Domingo, who ate up every single scene he was in. This was 107 minutes of beauty, of the horrors of the prison system and how they shackle down these men, how art is just a form of escape and a form of love, and art makes the world go round. And it's really, I can't even put it into words. I just want everybody, if you have not watched this movie, to watch this movie. It's called Sing Sing. Also, Coleman Domingo, I believe, was the only actual actor in this. The rest of the men were members of the actual Sing Sing program, which I didn't even say what it was. Sing Sing was a program started by one of these inmates at a prison. It's a program where people in the prison can join and put on plays, and it's just very beautiful and really highlights the importance of art, because sometimes that's really all you have. And with art comes camaraderie and friendship and the discovering of self. Mars Express, I am a whore for this style of animation. I love cyberpunk aesthetic. The world building in this was insanely well done. I always love to see different interpretations and stories of the inevitable computer versus human thing that we'll have going on one day. Didn't really reinvent anything in terms of plot. It was still a fantastic time. Shout out to the French. Y'all are reinventing the wheel when it comes to animation, 2D animation, that is. Reinventing the wheel. Is that a phrase? Why would you reinvent the wheel? Well, back in the day. Shut up. Literally just shut up. Zootopia, and that right there is my emotional support hot animated fox and police officer bunny. The world of Kanako. So fucked up, so batshit crazy. I will never rewatch it complimentary. I enjoyed every second. This is like in the same sense that Old Boy is a movie that is a ride from start to finish, but you don't want to comprehend what is going on because it's so nasty and bad and terrible, but like you can't help but look away from the screen because it is such a gripping plot and storyline. Also, Koji Yakusho, my guy, he will body any role he's given. I mean, telling me this is the same man that was having a perfect day in Perfect Days, and now he's a crime killer, just terrible human being. I mean, he could do any spectrum. He could be up here, he could be down here, he could be over here, he could be to the left, he could be to the right, he could be up, down, side to side, west, coast, west, south, east, west, north. Flawless actor. One of the best in the business. The Wild Robot. There is so much heart in this beautiful little movie, and I really hope it opens the eyes of people that animation is not just for kids. This was a story of motherhood. This was a story of the inevitable effects of climate change, and man, I really love this. Animation can convey heavy themes and carry such weight and meaning, all while looking so beautiful, and that I think is what The Wild Robot managed to do. And I will be sad if there's a Wild Robot 2. DreamWorks low-key on the rise. Pixar, girl, you gotta step it up. The Matrix. Sometimes cinema is all about watching two of the hottest people wear black trench coats and blackout sunglasses while fighting police in slow-mo, arming firearms, and exhibiting flawless martial arts. And that's all I really got out of this movie, unfortunately. This was the second time watching it, and while I appreciate it for what it is and what it did for the sci-fi genre as a whole, I just I don't like it as much as other people. Sorry to say it. That being said, I do 100% believe that we're living in the Matrix, and you bet your ass that if I'm presented the red and the blue pill, I'm choosing the blue. I'm choosing to live in oblivion. I love being oblivious. I don't care if I'm being controlled by the AI, as long as I don't know it and I'm supposedly happy down there, in their world. Fuck it. You only live once. Well, I guess you don't really live. Are the people in the Matrix living? Yes. Yes.
Adele in the house here at Rocket Mortgage Field House.
I need to talk to her. I'm thinking we should do a duet.
Companion. So I am seeing a pattern of very robot, AI-centric, dystopian movies that I'm watching. And I don't know if that's a subconscious decision, but it probably is because I eat that shit up. I love dystopian. I love AI versus human. Sophie Thatcher in this was incredible. Mwah. She played that killer sex robot like it was nobody's business, like rent was due. I think this also balanced thriller and humor, but also true emotion and what it truly means to love someone so well, and it didn't feel corny or overdone in any way. I recommend giving it a watch. The Lord of the Rings, The War of Rohirrim. Maybe I'm biased because I love Lord of the Rings and I love anime, and this was both of those. This was an epic. I think going into it with more of a lens that it is an anime medieval epic with the black backdrop and characters of Lord of the Rings is a better way to go into it, because it is a prequel, so a lot of it is new material, I think. I don't know. A lot of people just didn't seem to like it. I loved it. Shout out strong young female protagonists. Okay, they're taking a note from the book of Hayao Miyazaki. Guiding your people into battle. Women's voices matter.
Women's stories matter.
Yeah.
Right. They just matter.
Yeah.
Liz and the Bluebird, just a really endearing story of friendship told through a folktale story within the main story. Also a movie about following your passions and your dreams with music at the core, which means it features a sublime original score of pretty flutes and cellos that I listen to weekly at least, because it's so pretty. It makes me feel like I'm a fairy in a fairyland where the fairies live. Veselka, the rainbow at the corner of the center of the world. This was a documentary that highlighted the restaurant Veselka in the East Village, Little Ukraine. I had the pleasure of living literally 3 buildings down, and never have I had such a meal that felt like it was cooked with love, but also never have I seen a restaurant foster such community as this single restaurant did. After watching this documentary, I realized how much of a safe haven it was for Ukrainians who have come here decades ago or just recently, as the whole conflict has really gotten out of control. If you ever happen to go get their beet soup, it's really delicious. One of them days, I literally slapped my knee laughing at this, and I don't think I've ever slapped my knee laughing so hard at a movie. I don't think I've ever slapped my knee, ever, but I know it's a phrase. Kiki and SZA, absolutely unparalleled comedic chemistry. Hollywood, give me 14 more of these. Greenlight 14 more, ASAP. David Lynch, The Art of Life. I think if I lived a single 24 hours in the fucked up yet so brilliant mind of David Lynch, I would have offed myself. This is a great doc if you want to learn more about David Lynch and his perspective on art and life and his process, and kind of just an inside look of how his mind works. It is told through his own words as well as interjections of very weird art, very Lynchian art, whether it be paintings or visual engagements. May he rest in peace. Reality bites. Lauren bites. I bite. I bit. I chomped. I ate this the fuck up. This was so... Oh my god. I really loved this movie so much. I'm honestly just going to read the Letterboxd review / stream of consciousness that I wrote under this movie real quick, because it's real to me. Oh my god, everybody is so hot. I'm in my mid-20s and so lost as well, Winona. I need to smoke a cigarette right now. I need to smoke a cigarette with Winona Ryder and Ethan Hawke right now. Oh my god, everyone is so hot. Why is Cindy Crawford endorsing a bandana designed by Donna Karan that is blue for Crips, red for Blood? Ben Stiller is a genius. It only makes sense that the mind who directs Severance would have also directed this. Oh my god, he is also so hot. This is a really beautiful movie about the trials and tribulations of adult life as a 20-something-year-old, constantly feeling the need to compare yourself to your peers, balancing the pursuit of dreams with staying afloat, and ultimately finding your way. I feel very seen, especially as someone pursuing entertainment and Winona's character also pursuing that, in particular, film. I enjoyed every moment. Whoa, I need to rewatch that. A simple favor, this is like if Gone Girl was less dark and more overtly funny. My girls Anna Kendrick and Blake Lively, I don't know if she's really my girl, but in this she was. They did a fantastic job. I loved them in this movie. I think they were cast phenomenally. And the twist at the end was kind of fantastic. It kind of got me. It got a little gay, a little messy, a little violent, a little gory. Angel's Egg. I think if you like anime movies, this is a pivotal watch in that I feel it was pivotal in the creation and inspiration of more newer animes, newer being things that came after Angel's Egg, because it is quite old. I think it was made in the 70s. Anything with heavy religious tones, basically. Neon Genesis, Evangelion, Akira, Ghost in the Shell even. You could see its influence on very popular animes. Just anything very existential, because this was goddamn existential. It also had a magnificently cozy and eerie gothic vibe that the anime Monster has, because both take place in what I believe is one of those Germanic places in Europe. It had such little dialogue, but the dialogue that was spoken was so meaningful to the story, and it felt like the characters were sort of reading scripture, like words from the Bible or something, which it was very like biblical. I mean, I'm pretty sure they mentioned Noah's Ark. I'm Still Here. This is a 2024 Brazilian film. What did it win at the Oscars? Editing? It won something at the Oscars. It should have won so much more. It should have been nominated for so much more. My God, just a punch to the gut of a movie. After the credits rolled, I immediately just burst into tears, which I wasn't expecting, because usually it's a specific scene or a specific line of dialogue or a specific event in a movie that triggers tears while I'm watching the movie. But it was almost as if all of this turmoil and emotion throughout its 2-hour runtime built up and just like let out at the end. Just so I don't mess this up, I'm gonna read from my notes. It tells the story of the Paiva family who live in 1970s Brazil at a time when military dictatorship was at its height. Ruben Paiva, who is the husband of Eunice and a father of their 5 children, is kidnapped, never to be returned, and without a trace. It's very, very devastating, especially to know that this happened to hundreds of families across Brazil during this time, and they're finally just getting the justice now. There's a scene in the end where, actually, I'm not going to say it, it's not going to spoil it. I'm very thankful to have learned about this topic, something that I never knew occurred. And Fernanda Torres, oh my goodness, girl, she ate up that role playing Eunice Paiva. Should she have won Best Actress at the Oscars? Yes, I think so. I really implore anyone and everyone to watch this movie and give it your full attention. How to Train Your Dragon, hella epic, okay? I don't know if I'm biased because Toothless, the dragon, looks just like my dog and has the same mannerisms as my dog. And it's weird that I like this so much because like I was too old to have watched this, I think, when it came out. I don't know, or I just like never really watched it, but like now I really like it as a 26-year-old watching it for the second time. How to Train Your Dragon 2. This being the sequel to How to Train Your Dragon. Yeah, pretty epic still. Toothless, the dragon, still looks like my dog and is still really cute. The last movie of February that I watched was Late Spring, my third Ozu movie. Ozu has the ability to make his films feel so sensitive and so soft. Out of the 3 films of his that I watched, I definitely related this one to most, as it features a woman in her mid-20s kind of just going through life with society's pressure on her shoulder. You know, she's being told by everybody, you have to get married, you have to get married. And she's like, I don't really want to. I kind of want to just live here and take care of my dad. And the dad is also sort of pressuring her, but at the same time you could tell he's very reluctant and doesn't want to let her go, but he thinks that this decision would be best for her in the long run because eventually one day he won't be here. We spend an hour and a half in this home with them. Ozu's shots of the house and just watching them eat and drink tea and talk, it makes you feel at the end when she leaves this home that she's leaving your home, sort of, that you're leaving with her, this home that you've become so familiar to. And I think that's a gift that Ozu has, was to make place such a palpable thing just through still shots. And it's really, yeah, beautiful. I'm literally rambling, but anyways. As for shows that I'm watched in January and February, I am currently watching Severance, 10 out of 10. If you have not watched Severance, get on the Severance train, man, because it will have you, oh my goodness, it is a ride. I say that about a lot of things, but Severance, oh, it's a ride. It's an elevator ride, if you will. I watched Squid Game Season 2. Was it necessary to make a Squid Game Season 2? No, but of course Netflix has to get their capitalistic bag, so they made it. I think it could have been just the first and last episode, and all of the middle, 7 episodes could have been cut out. However, it did leave on a cliffhanger after 9 episodes for whatever reason. You could have just tied up the entire thing in this season, but they didn't. So I will be sat for season 3 because I do want to know what happens. Hacks season 1 through 3. Sped through this because I loved it. Hacks is an extremely overlooked comedy series that is ostensibly about the craft of comedy, Hollywood beef, and insecurities of those who spend their lives trying to make other people laugh. But it's also about relationships, particularly the complex bond between Jean Smart's character Deborah, who's perhaps one of my new favorite actresses. Never seen anything Jean Smart was in before this. Hell yeah, she rocks. Between her and her mid-20s writing assistant, Ava, who's played by Hannah Einbinder. These two women are at 2 completely different times in their respective careers, but are united by the common goal of redemption and reinvention. I also feel super seen by Ava, who is in her mid-20s, constantly having to make decisions. I feel like they will make or break your dreams in trying to navigate the intensely competitive and batshit insane world that is the entertainment industry. Whoa, I wrote that out of my heart and out of my soul. City of Ghosts, this is literally just the cutest little series about a group of little kid ghost hunters. They have a ghost hunting club and they explore different cafes and landmarks and spots in Los Angeles, and they interview ghosts that happen to be living in these spots and highlight the importance these locations had on the community and the history of Los Angeles as a whole. It's so adorable. It's so educational. Even as someone in my 20s, I learned so much about the history of Los Angeles, and it's animated so uniquely. If you are looking for something to watch and just speed through, there's like 5 episodes. Each episode is only like 15 to 20 minutes. Yeah, highly recommended. Just a cute little warm fuzzy animated show. And with that being said, that is everything I watched in January and February. If you have any recommendations, please comment them below. Also, if you would like to become a channel member, I will be posting every video at least 24 hours in advance to be accessed by channel members, as well as letting you vote on video ideas. I'm going to start, I think, watching series / movies on here, maybe like commentary. I don't know, we'll think about it. But if you do want to become a member just to support the channel extra, maybe vote on said series and movies that I watch on here, it'd be much appreciated and kind of cool. Movies and TV shows, well, they're my bread and butter and I love them so much and they're pretty epic. With that being said, loves, I will see you next time, maybe next week, maybe not, because I do procrastinate, but maybe. Well, a message now from today's sponsor. I love you, and I'm happy you're here. Thank you to Mubi for once again sponsoring today's video. Mubi is for lovers of great cinema, and for those who don't yet know they love great cinema, let me tell you a little bit more about them. Mubi is a streaming service dedicated to elevating great cinema from all around the globe. They have an in-house team of curators that handpick every single movie that they show on the platform. They're constantly showing new programming, leading me to watch new movies that I otherwise would have never even heard about. Each film is also accompanied by a little excerpt written by one of the curators as to why watching said movie may be worth your time, which is so valuable for someone like me who can take 3 hours to choose a single movie to watch for the night. I've said it once, I've said it twice, I've said it 18 times on this channel. I am such a huge fan of movies where people are just walking and talking. I found this movie on Mubi called Matt and Mara. We follow Mara, who is a creative writing professor, and Matt, who is a successful published author, very carefree, and one day their paths cross once again as they had a history in the past, and we basically just follow them talking through this complicated relationship that they have. Is it platonic? Is it romantic? What we get is just a fascinating view of human connection and interpersonal relationships. All of the tensions that build up are so literate, they're so complicated, they're so palpable. The editing, superb. And the characters, while the decisions they make may seem random at some times, they are so complex and specific to them. I think I would compare this most to Hong Sang-soo's filmography, just very true to life and seemingly effortless dialogue. It just feels very real, and I really recommend this to anybody. And hey, you yourself can try Mubi for free for 30 days at mubi.com/Lauren. That is mubi.com/Lauren for 30 days of great cinema for free. Go out there and watch a good movie. Yeah.